going there. My marks. Sorry. After this part will be me using the mouse. That's the mouse will take. It's easy. Yeah.
Are there the equivalent of bank holidays in Singapore?
Yes, so today is the start of a long weekend because we've got the Muslim calendar Hari Raya coming up, and then there's a Labor Day on the 1st of May.
Okay. So we have a bank holiday this weekend too.
All right. Is there Labor Day as well, right? From on your side?
I'm so bad. I think so. I just am always happy for a day off. So
yeah, regardless, I don't care what holiday it is, just give me a holiday.
Yeah, so I don't have to work on Monday, so I'm looking forward to it. Looks like the weather's been nice, which is a big deal in Scotland because it's always raining here. But
you're based in Scotland now?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm just stereotyping, but normally I couldn't really understand a Scottish when you speak.
I'm not originally from Scotland.
Okay, so that explains.
Yeah. I'm originally from New Mexico, so I'm American. But all of my family kind of sound like this when they talk, and they're really slow and very considered, like they're really thinking about what the next thing is that's gonna come out of their mouth.
Oh, right.
But I think living in Scotland, I've learned to speak faster because people here are just like,
yeah. Jay and Mr. Kunalan, I forgot to print off the certificate of appreciation. I will send it across to Jay as a soft copy. Normally, we have this certificate ceremony where I'll send it to you via the camera. Unfortunately, I'm not able to do that today, but I'll send it to you anyway via email.
Okay, thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
This is the very first time I'm doing a webinar. I mean, I've done a few with IOSH already, but I already speak from my own place and wherever the other person is at. This is the first time that I'm sitting beside the
presenter.
Butterflies.
Safe
So how do you know Mr. Kunalan and Jay? Jay. What am I saying?
Back in my time in Jakarta, I was a health and safety advisor. So I was looking for a speaker to help me launch my annual health and safety week for Jakarta. So I was looking around and I was thinking, I want someone to speak on exercising and eating well, close to mental well-being. When I was looking around it, I saw some write-ups about Mr. Kunalan. When I just contacted him, he spontaneously said, okay. And that's how this whole thing struck up. I think he didn't even ask much questions, just asked me, where is it? He was very, very straight to the point. So I didn't even have the need to ask him so much. So that's how it started, and we've been keeping in touch on and off through the years.
That's nice. That's nice.
Get him on board and next to me, working with me in this occasion. Because today we're going to talk about an interesting topic on healthy lifestyle. Not the typical ones that you'll be hearing. In fact, I intentionally shrink down my slides so that you'll have more time to explain to everyone how exercising has evolved from what we have perceived it to be and how easily manageable it is right now, even if you're working from home. So I really hope we get a good audience turn out today who can benefit, and very happy for IOSH to record us.
Yeah, it's one of Anthony, I'm not sure if you know about Mr. Kunalan. He was an Olympian. He represented Singapore as a sprinter. He was a relay runner as well. So he has done Singapore proud. Oh, he was a former footballer as well. So we've got a celebrity.
Wow, I'm honored. I had no idea. I'm not so good at sports knowledge, but I still can appreciate talent and greatness. So it's nice to be meeting
Long
you.
ago.
I was just informally interviewing him about this, how he trained during those times, and I should really say that the determination and the drive that he had, I think we should all try to pick it up some way or another and do it in the ways that we are doing our work or anything that we love to do. Because I think I'm still not done with the informal interview yet, so because we are halfway through, we were like dealing with Wi-Fi connection and all that. It's really
That'll
amazing.
be nice to hear.
Henderson Road and how he trained up, especially for the very first record where he got a 10.38 seconds for 100 meters.
10 point how many seconds? 10 seconds for how many meters?
10.38, yeah.
For 100 meter? Oh my
so
God.
So every 1 meter is, I think, less than a second.
God.
Yeah, but well, nowadays the world champions are running way below 10, and some can do way below 9 even. Yeah.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
But this was in 1968.
And it was a
Many,
big
many
deal
years.
then. Yeah, it was a big deal then in 1968. Gosh, I probably think you're a
Anyone
robot or
born-
something.
anyone born yet? Anyone born yet?
1968? I'm forever 18 plus experience. Okay, we've just got a 1 minute before we start to admit.
Sure.
I'll start to admit them when it strikes 5. The last time, Anthony, the last time when we were doing this with Catherine, there wasn't any sound coming off from the background. Is it attached to the presentation slide, or is it a different, it's attached, right?
Yeah, it's attached. You may have just forgot to press the share sound button, potentially.
Possibly then. Okay, good. Okay, it's 5. I'm going to start admitting people, yeah? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of our participants, and welcome to another session of the IOSH Singapore branch webinar. We are pleased to be welcoming you to this session that will take about 1 hour. Please note that at the end of this session, we will be having a photo taking session with the presenters. So please stay till the end. And any questions that you have during the presentation, please make use of the chat function and we will address the questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you for joining us this evening, and we are pleased to welcome Mr. C. Kunalan from Sport Singapore and J. Prakash from McKinsey EHS today to share on IOSH Singapore branch tips for embracing employee mental well-being and healthy lifestyle. Mr. C. Kunalan will be turning 80 years old this October, and he was born in 1942. He was a primary and secondary school teacher for 20 years and then a lecturer in physical education and sports science at NIE, NTU for 30 years, teaching teachers to teach sports and physical education. He retired from NIE NTU in June 2010 and started working in the Singapore Sports Council, now called Sports Singapore, where he still is. Top priority for him these days is caring for his dear wife, who is 3 weeks older than him, and maintaining his health. So he does some kind of physical activity every day before heading to office. We also have Jay from McKinsey EHS as the co-presenter for today's webinar. Jay was a former workplace safety and health inspector with the Ministry of Manpower, Singapore. He brings along with him 18 years of EHS experience, having worked with small, medium enterprises to multinational companies to share on legal obligations under the Workplace Safety and Health Act and subsidiary legislations for business owners in Singapore. He's also a certified internal auditor, ISO 9001, 45001 and 14001 management system. He's also a fire safety manager, a certified ergonomics assessor. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. C. Kunalan and J. Prakash.
So shall I take it up from here? Right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for sharing your precious time with us. And today's topic will be on tips for embracing employee mental well-being and how to lead a healthy lifestyle.
Jay, can I just do a quick check? I'm hearing a bit of an echo coming from the speaker. Perhaps if Mr. Kunalan could turn on his speaker and you mute yourself, if that's possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yep.
And we currently are not seeing any slides as well. So if you could share your slide, that'd be great.
Right, sure.
There you go.
You can see my slides right now.
Yes, we could. Thank you.
Great technology. All right. So today we are going to talk about mental well-being and why is it an essential topic now? I mean, there's a few reasons to that. Let me come to that now. Firstly, because the workplace is the second place where an employee spends most of his or her day. So as you can imagine right now, you're working at your office and sometimes you're required to work from home as well. So I understand that these are two different places of work, so you can understand the environment, the atmosphere, everything is different. So you know what can be stressing you out. And of course, regulatory requirement. In the countries that you're working in, there will be a regulatory requirement for the employees to ensure to doing the best to ensure that the employees' mental well-being is taken care of as part of their care by the employer. So because of these following reasons, this is a very, very essential topic right now, especially in countries where you're opening up the business. And of course, it's not an easy feat for the employers. There's a lot of challenges faced by them. And I'm just going to name a few key challenges over here. There's been reduced human interaction because of a limited face-to-face direct interaction. So which means like there's so many Zoom calls or Teams calls or Google Meets and whatever not, but you're not getting to see the person in person. So which means that you can't really sense how are they feeling right now. Like for example, when you're working from home, you're only seeing them remotely. And there's a lot of virtual meetings happening against physical meetings. And of course, there is a lot of other challenges involved as well. Employees need to adapt and adopt new culture because it's a culture shift for them. So, for example, in Singapore, there's a mental health toolkit for employers to guide them through the process. But even then, it's not an easy fit for them because firstly, you need to have the resource. So, are you going to employ a health and safety professional for your company? If it's a big organization, I'm sure you could allocate the resource. But what if you are a small, medium enterprise? And do you have the right knowledge to advocate mental health and to address issues that's happening in your workplace? Are you trained enough to observe your employees and see whether are they being distressed and need help? And as always, business, there's a lot of priorities. So where on the priority wish list is mental health? And there's a situation faced by employees as well, because it's a new change for them. And their fear of being judged by the employer because they're worried that they could be scrutinized for opening up and sharing about their mental health issues. So how open are employers to embracing this stress? Although it's a neutral word, is putting on a lot of a negative impact on employees because some of them are just simply following the crowd. Perhaps the culture is that if I voice out, I could be marked up as someone who's not willing to cooperate or work along well with the company policies. So that could be another stress factor. So how can employers and employees come to a consensus and make this work for them? So they could do a health and safety risk assessment for their workplace. So what they need to do is to review the hazards and risks involved in their work tasks. So when we talk about work tasks, it needs to be a honest review as much as possible so that they do not miss on any kind of opportunities that could have been worked on. For example, if you're having accountancy firm as your place of work, that could be end of financial year accounting to be done. And there will be a lot of steps involved, and most of it will be very laborious efforts. You're standing hours and hours in front of a laptop or a computer. And you should be identifying all the steps involved, no matter how small they are, so that you could eventually funnel them down to sizable risks and address them. So this is one of the examples that will be used on. And it's 3 simple tips where the employees can also support the mental well-being. First is getting their employees to set realistic goals. Never ever push your employees from day one because you're going to lose them very soon. So set aside goals which are reasonably achievable. So you could be putting on them on like a mini projects. To you, it could be very simple. It's just a 3 hours kind of an effort. But if you give them 5 of such projects and tell them that you could finish it within 2 weeks, that's really a lot on them because you're not sure whether are they aware of how to use that software or the tools that they need to use, and how confident are they in this whole process. And you need to be approachable, not only when it comes to assigning work, but when it comes to providing guidance to get this work done. So that's a very important thing. A lot of employers are taking it like, you are the subject matter expert, that's why I employed you for, and you are expected to give me the outcomes. Yes, but no one is perfect, right? Everyone's still learning. Every single day is a learning day. So have the empathy towards your employees so that they can show good progress towards their deliverables. And you have to be mindful. Being mindful in all aspects, in terms of their health, in terms of their family, their commitments. Some of them could be caregivers to their elderly parents or their children as well. Or they could have worked very late last night. And this morning, you shouldn't be expecting them to join you on an important Teams call. So you need to draw that kind of a line so that they are feeling comfortable to deliver work as they work along this tough time. And with that, I'm sure you'll be interested to know how can employees benefit from a healthy lifestyle. And of course, if the employees are healthy, it's a very good news for employees as well, right? So let me pass on the time to Mr. C. Kunalan, who will take you on with all the tips and break all the myths.
Am I on? Okay.
Yep.
Hi, everybody. So it's my turn now, and I would like to touch on tips for healthy lifestyle. Let me go with this. I have always tried to keep up to date with anything to do with health and healthy lifestyles. And this is what we have in Singapore. This once a week, we have this feature. And this is what I saw on Wednesday, the 20th of April last week in our Straits Times. And that page is titled Living Well Life. And it was so interesting, what this article touched on the 20th of April. So it says this, this title is very attractive. How much exercise do we need? Wow, this is really important. For anyone interested in the relationship between exercise and living longer, one of the most pressing questions is how much do people really need to stay healthy? Okay, is 30 minutes a day enough? Can one get by with less than 30 minutes a day? Does one have to exercise all in one session? Or can it be spread throughout the day? And when one is talking about exercise, does it have to be hard exercise to count? I think these questions, people will be surprised that we are asking these questions. Let me go on. So for years, exercise scientists have tried to quantify the ideal dose of exercise for most people. This has been going on for many, many years. And I have been in this scene for so many years. And I've kept up to date and seen the changes. Let me go on. They finally reached a broad consensus in 2008 with the Physical Activities Guideline for Americans. This is what they did. And then this was updated 10 years later in 2018, very recently. And the update was after an extensive review of the available science about movement, sitting, and health. And so we have okay. Right. Okay, here is what some of the leading researchers in exercise science have to say about step counts, stairwells, weekend warriors, greater longevity, and the health longevity. And the healthiest step people can take, the healthiest step that you can take is one that gets you off the couch. So everybody out there, the 51 of you, get off your couch. Let's go on. For longevity, 150 minutes a week of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity is enough, says Dr. Yi Ming Lee, a professor at this Harvard school. And for practical purposes, exercise scientists often recommend breaking the 150 minutes into 30-minute sessions of speedy walking or any similar activity 5 times a week. So So 5 times 30 minutes gives you the 150 minutes per week. And this professor from Norwegian School of Sports Science, he said this: it is quite clear from numerous large-scale, well-conducted studies that 30 minutes of moderate intensity activity most days lowers the risk of premature death and many conditions such as stroke, type 2 diabetes, and many types of cancer. And that is what we want to avoid, isn't it? And so from the science studies, they say 30 minutes of moderate intensity most days. Okay, keep that in mind. Then, moderate exercise, he adds, means activities that increase your breathing and heart rate so that the exertion that you're going through feels like 5 or 6 out of the scale of 1 to 10. So you must feel that kind of intensity. If it's only 1 or 2, then it's not going to be valuable, right? And in other words, pick up the pace if your inclination is to stroll. So if you're just strolling and say, hey, I'm exercising, no, that's not enough. But at the same time, you don't have to sprint like a sports person sprinting. Okay, so keep that in mind. Next, moderate exercise. So sorry, you can also break up the exercise into even smaller segments. This is something really dramatic. Okay, pay attention. So this scientist from the University of Sydney in Australia, who studies physical activity and health, says this: it doesn't matter whether exercise is done in a long, continuous 30-minute session or is dispersed across the day in shorter sessions. Hey, have you ever heard of this? Let's see what they mean. Recent studies show people can accumulate their 150 minutes of moderate exercise in whatever way works best for them. And so it says this: many people may find it easier and more sustainable to squeeze in a few dozen 1 or 2 minute walks in between work tasks or other commitments. There is no special magic to a sustained 30-minute session of exercise for most health benefits. So you can split that 30-minute session per day into even 1 minute, 2 minute, 1 minute, 2 minutes throughout the day. Okay, so think of that. A few dozen 1 or 2 minute walks in between work tasks. Think of bite-sized workouts as exercise snacks. Snacks, he says. He adds activities like bursts of very fast walking from your desk to the pantry or to your colleague's desk. So fast walking, stair climbing where necessary, carrying shopping bags provide excellent opportunities for movement snacks. To concentrate the health benefits of this workout nuggets, he says, keep the intensity relatively high so you feel somewhat winded. So you must feel winded. So your breathing goes upwards. So the exercise recommendations remain the same. If you measure your exercise in steps instead of minutes, for most people, says Dr. Lee, 150 minutes of exercise a week would translate to 7,000 to 8,000 steps a day. And this professor said the relationship between steps and longevity, published in March in the Lancet journal. Lancet is a medical journal. The optimal step count for people younger than 60 was about 8,000 to 10,000 steps day. And for those aged 60 and above, like me, it is about 6,000 to 8,000 steps a day. So keep all this in mind. Of course, I want to go back. Of course, these recommendations about steps and minutes focus on health lifespans, not physical performance, right? So the recommended 150 minutes a week may also be too little to stave off weight gain with age. In a 2010 study of almost 35,000 women that was spearheaded by Dr. Lee, only those who walked or otherwise exercised moderately for about an hour a day during middle age maintained their weight as they became older. So those who are middle age, take note of that too. So if you have time and inclination, move more than 30 minutes a day, says Dr. Lee and the other scientists. In general, according to her research and other studies, the more active people are, the more their risks of chronic conditions drop, and the longer their lives may be. But any activity is better than none. Every single minute counts, says Professor Eklund. Walking up the stairs has health benefits even if it lasts for only 1 or 2 minutes, if you repeat it regularly. Then, so what, you may ask? What are we hoping for? Let me show you the results of a medical examination that I underwent in 2015. You may say, 2015? Why 2015? Can I just show you this slide? This was also on the 24th of April, a few days ago. And it was in our Straits Times in the middle page. And you can see all these, why we have this kind of people in Singapore. So read, when you have time, this part here, what this guy said. He aims to level up each year. And then this lady said, motivate yourself by making fitness fun, and so on and so on and so on. Okay, let me go on. Okay, so what, you may ask, what are we hoping for? And let me show you the results of a medical examination I underwent in 2015, okay? And you may say, hey, why 2015? Well, because in 2015, I underwent a study by the School of Medicine, and I was a participant in this study, and so it was free of charge. I didn't have to pay for it, and they did a very thorough study. So my date of birth is October 1942, and so this year, in 2020, October 2022, I'll be 80 years old. And this is my medical report during this research study. Let me enlarge it for you. So we have this. First, body mass index. My body mass index is 21.33, your weight upon your height squared. Okay, and look at the standards. As for me, I am in the healthy group. I'm not in the underweight, I'm not in the overweight, neither am I obese. So my body mass index. So look at my blood pressure. It's 122/71, and it is, I'm in the normal range. And then look at the blood lipids. My total cholesterol is not in the healthy desirable range, because that should be less than 200, but mine is 229, which is high. So I have to watch out for that. But when you talk about cholesterol, there's good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. And look at my high cholesterol, which is the high density lipoprotein, and it is 63. And this is a good cholesterol. And if it's more than 60, it will be, it's in a high good category. Okay, so my high HDL cholesterol is in a very good range. Then let me show you the next part. Okay. Oh, yeah. I also saw this in one of the Google sites. For men, you can see HDL for men, anything above 60 is desirable. For women, also the same. Above 60, you need to get. And let's go on. And as you can see, my good cholesterol is 63, above 60. Then you have the low density cholesterol. This is the bad cholesterol. It should be below 130. Mine is 141. So my bad cholesterol is not a good number. Then how about the fat in the blood? The fat in the blood, this comes under triglycerides, is 123. And anything, this is a good number, because for optimal, you need to be 150, less than 150, and mine is less than 150. So my fat in the blood is in good order. But the most important one is this, the total cholesterol over your high density lipoprotein, HDL. And so my number is 3.6, and anything above 4 will increase your heart disease risk, and mine is below 4. Okay, I'm 3.6. So that is a good sign. Then let me go on to the next part of this test. This is your sugar level. So for me, you can see my fasting glucose when they took the blood after fasting, and it was 4.8. And when it is below 6, is normal. So I'm in the normal range. Blood glucose, also this after oral intake, after drinking, it was still 5.3, and anything below 7.8 is still considered healthy. And I have no danger of diabetes, because only when it is more than 7 or more than 11 will there be danger of diabetes. Then let me go on. And then they also had this special test, pulse wave analysis. And so this is the average, the line below here, you see the average line, and the blue dot is mine. And this tells you how stiff your arteries are. And for me, it is 7.7, which is better than the average healthy individual in my age group. So that is a nice thing to hear, isn't it? Yeah, so we have a healthy heart and healthy muscles, yeah, fit muscles. I want to touch a little bit on this. And for this, to show whether your heart is healthy and muscles are fit, there is this figure that we can talk about, and that is your Vo2 Max. Vo2 Max, okay? Maximum oxygen that your muscles, that your blood can deliver to your muscles and how much the muscles can use. Okay, so there is a range, and for me at that age, it was 34 mils per minute per kg. All right, so VO2 max. Then what I want to tell you is this: there's no need to go to hospital or fitness labs or take part in a study like mine, because you can find your VO2 max this way. Let me show you. VO2 max. So I went to this website and just a day ago, and they asked me for my age. So I put in 79 because I'm 79 plus, and also number of beats in 20 seconds. And you can do that, isn't it? By taking the pulse like this. Okay. So for 20 seconds, you take your pulse and then multiply it by 3. So for me, 20 seconds, my reading was 21. Okay, and from there, the website straight away tells you that your VO2 max. And for me, it was 37 mils per kg per minute. Now, so what? And this is a way it can be calculated. Also, the calculation is like this, right? VO2 max equals to 15.3 times maximum heart rate divided by the number of beats in 20 seconds multiplied by 3. Okay, that will give you your maximum heart rate. So this is how I calculated mine. 208 minus 0.7 times my age, which is like this, 3 times 21 just now, which is 63. So my maximum heart rate is like this, 208 minus 0.7 times my age, 79. And it comes to 208 minus 55.3 to 1, you get 152.7. And then go back to the main thing. So 15.3 times 152.7 divided by my heart rate for 1 minute. And this is 152.7 divided by 63 is 2.423. So 15.3 times 2.423 is 37.08. Okay. And so every one of you can calculate your VO2 max. So there are many formulas. So this is the one that I used just now. There's also, you can find a VO2 max based on 1 mile walk test. So do a 1 mile walk and then get the time, and you can also have, that's a table for it. And also there are VO2 max based on a 3-minute step test, and VO2 max based on a 1.5 mile walk test also can be done. Then, the important part is this. There are many good VO2 max. What is a good VO2 max for your age? Yeah. Let me see. Okay. So from this chart, you can get your VO2 max, but the important thing is this: what is a good VO2 max for my age and fitness level? Right. And so we have all these kind of charts. Let me show you. Here is a chart for women. And they go up to age 65. And then another chart for women. And sorry. Let me show you the chart for men. So this is the chart for men, and they go up to age 65. So remember, for me it was 37.08, and it's in this range. So I am considered to be in the good range. Although my age is not 65 plus, but even higher. But there are no tables for old people like us. And also in the next chart, they go from 60 to 64 age group. And for me, remember, it's 37.08. So I'm here in this range, and I'm in the very good range in this, according to this chart. And here's another chart for you. So this is the next chart. You can see they have gone to 66 plus age group. And so where do I fit in? So remember, mine is 37.08 and 37.08. I am in the good range, isn't it? Yeah, I'm in the good range. And if it is more than, you know, if 37.08 is, we can consider it more than 37, well, I could even be in the excellent range. So that is what my readings are. Let me go on. Okay, so this is at the end of this test that I underwent. They says they also gave me this advice. These results are indicative of your health status and not meant to be used for diagnosis of health conditions. You are advised to consult your family physician should the results exceed normal ranges. So that is the advice. Next, let me go on. Okay, so you know, you can also get your Vo2 Max from all these special gadgets. Now we have these Garmin watches, and it's made in Malaysia, and now all those who are trying to keep fit and so on can get this quite cheaply. We also have these kinds of Apple watches. Look. And the website said that from $20 is now $12. So, and these also shows your Vo2 Max and everything else when you're exercising. Let me go on. So if Vo2 Max is so important, how can we improve our Vo2 Max? Whether you simply like to improve your overall health or are hoping to increase your athletic output during training, you will need to improve your Vo2 Max. Okay, so this is not only for high-level athletes, it's for every one of us. And well, they say you can do HIIT workouts. High-intensity interval training is the most efficient and effective way to improve your Vo2 Max. Pushing your body to max intensity works your cardiovascular system and forces your body to be efficient as possible with oxygen. The more often you increase the intensity, the more quickly your body adapts. Yeah. Okay. So there are a variety of HIIT workouts that you can try at the gym or even right at home. Some of the most effective HIIT workouts require nothing other than your own body weight. If you cross-train at home or the gym doesn't sound too appealing, then you can easily incorporate interval runs during your interval training during your runs. Okay, let me go on. So here, 30 ways to improve your health and fitness. It's easy to assume that we have to set massive goals and make drastic changes to improve our health or fitness. When social media is saturated with dramatic before and after pictures, it looks as if complete change in lifestyle is the only way to better your health. Actually, no, it is not, okay? The media can be the media can be deceiving when it comes to health and fitness, featuring some of the most drastic changes as a way to motivate and inspire their audience. And while this may be a worthy cause, what about the rest of us who aren't looking to lose 150 pounds or clear up chronic illness or get ripped muscles? Okay. So the majority of us are simply looking for a few ideas we can use to improve our overall health and fitness. We don't have time to spend 4 hours in the gym, nor do we have motivation to convert to all the different diets that we have. And you know what? That's just fine. There are plenty of small changes we can make every day that will add up to greatly increase our health and fitness. These changes take hardly any time or effort, yet can really have an impact on our health. Creating a few healthy habits might involve something as simple as having water with our lunch instead of Coke, taking the stairs, focusing on positive thoughts. And so here, 30 ways to boost your heart health. Reader's Digest, it says this: how to sneak age-defying health, disease-fighting habits into your life without really trying. And this was only last year in February. Let me show you what they said. Okay. There are two exercises that can cut your the risk of heart disease in half. Okay, and I thought I should share this also with you. Yoga and aerobic exercise are particularly effective at warding off heart disease, according to new research from a hospital in India. The team of researchers, they did this. They took 750 heart disease patients and divided them into 3 different kinds of exercise routines. Aerobic exercise. So 3 groups of, yes. So they divided them into 3 groups, and they exercised for 6 months, 3 times 6-month sessions. One group was only doing aerobic. The other group only did yoga. And the third group did aerobic and exercise. And they did this for 6 months, 3 times sessions, 3 times a week. Okay, so this was the results. At the end of the trial period, both the aerobic exercises and those practicing yoga showed similar reductions in their blood pressure, BMI, and cholesterol. However, the group who had tried both workouts and yoga saw twice the improvement. And so that's really fantastic, isn't it? Yeah. So that's not only perk of yoga. Previous research has found that a daily session can boost even your brain power and prevent back pain and even beat that afternoon slump. So in the combination of the 2 workouts that does the trick, researchers say. Combine Indian yoga and aerobic exercise reduce mental and physical cardiovascular stress and can lead to decreased cardiovascular mortality and morbidity. And so heart disease patients could benefit from learning Indian yoga and making it a routine part of your daily life. And so combining both is even better. So let's go on, okay? Let me go on next. Okay, then I always go through the my media, and so I saw this. So this guy, this is what it says, yeah. Metabolic factor. Yeah, metabolic factor newsletter. So this is what I saw. So this chap said, I used to see the same woman every time I went to the gym, always lifting weights on the bike or in a boot camp class. But I haven't seen her since the pandemic started. And then I just ran into her at a store and I almost didn't recognize her because she looks younger, fitter, and healthier than I remembered. And so I figured she was still working out like crazy. Turns out she wasn't. And this is what she said. In fact, she was doing the opposite. She said she has been working out at home for a fraction of the time she used to, but everything changed when she started doing the right exercises for her age. And so I said, wow, this is exciting. And so I said, let me follow up on this. And so anyway, it's going to be free, right? And so I clicked, and then I came to this. It brought me to this. Old school, new body. Only 90 minutes per week. And so I said, okay, let me check it out. And after a lengthy presentation, I was still not getting anywhere. And then I came to this one. I was not going to buy whatever they're going to sell. And then they said, oh, if you're not we even have a free fat burn faster manual. We even have build more muscle manual, and it will give it free if I bought this. And then keep the drive alive for sex and attraction, free. And free also a good life, health and happiness tactics. And then if you don't take advantage of this offer, we have a parting gift for you. And so it was very interesting because they said, here it says this, okay, yeah, never mind. Yeah, your playtime with your kids and grandkids will be strictly limited to how long you can last without having your knee, back, and joint lock up in pain. Your midlife crisis will kick into full gear, while all others who are actively doing the F4X system are enjoying a midlife celebration. The months and years will pass, and you will have lost a golden opportunity to take advantage of a proven system, all at the absolute lowest price that will ever be offered. Okay, so let me say, all right, so I said, let me go on and see what they have to offer. Okay, so when you make this wise decision, you will, and all this, and then I saw, oh, now the regular price of this was $50, and now you're going to give me 30% off, and so it was going to be $20. And then they said, click the buy now button to receive your pre-sale price of $20 plus all the bonuses that they were offering, and all worth $227. Act fast, your discount expires when the timer runs out. Buy now. And of course, I went to the bottom of the page and then click the add to cart button to receive your pre-sale price of just $20 plus all the bonuses that was worth over $227. And I'm going to click and end my session now. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you have learned something new and something that's valuable. Thank you very much.
Hi, Nurul. I think you're on mute.
I am indeed. I was. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. So as I was saying, thank you to Mr. Sikunalan and to Jay Prakash for an informative sharing on embracing employee mental well-being and healthy lifestyles, and also for sharing the newspaper article, cuttings, research, and findings that also gives a different perspective of how active participation and healthy lifestyle is being promoted worldwide as well. We do have a question. One of the questions that was asked is, do you think that preventive measures or education on healthy lifestyle is lacking in modern medicine and treatment? If so, how can doctors get talking about this? The person also go on to say that the sentiments that there's appeal for that negatively feeds into consumerist values that aren't actually helping anything. So do you have any comments on that question? Perhaps Mr. Kunalan or Jay could address?
Yeah, I think things are changing. I'm not sure in other parts of the world, but I'm sure they are also changing because I keep in touch with of these things. But in Singapore, definitely is changing, and even doctors are advising on this. And so we in 2 hospitals we have health and fitness departments and in Singapore, and so people can go there and they can be tested and they can get advice as to what are the necessary things they can do with their diet and their exercise programs. Yeah, so in Singapore we have an awakening, and the medical profession is really going after it. And as I said, hospitals are having these departments, health and fitness departments.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kunalan. That was a question that was asked by Anthony on that part of subject. We've got also another question from Michael. Michael asks, I believe there are several schools of yoga. Which one produced the weight loss you mentioned?
No, I'm not sure which one. But I tell you, there are some yogas which are very more active and quite long sessions. So if you have more active and with lots of movements and quite long sessions, they will help you to lose fats also, because you need time for the fats to come out from the fat stores and for the muscles to use. And for the muscles to use, you must be in action. And so your yoga cannot be just sitting and praying. It must be, there are many different types of yoga, isn't it? Huh? So look for the yoga that keeps you moving all the time and moving for a long time. Then your fats can come out and the muscles can use your fats.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kunalan. In the interest of time, for those questions that were not answered, we will provide a response and address it to your email that you've registered via with this to this webinar. A recording of this presentation will also be available on IOSH Singapore branch website. So do visit our IOSH Singapore branch website to watch our topic and our past topics as well. As the chair of IOSH Singapore branch and on behalf of my executive committee, once again, I would like to thank Mr. C. Kunalan and Jay Prakash for your time. Before we sign off, may I request that you turn on your camera to take part in the photo taking with the speakers? Okay. I'll just stop sharing the screen for now. And so that I can see everyone. Hang on a second. Alrighty. Okay, so I've got 3 pages. So hold that smile, okay? Ready, 1, 2, smile. One more. 1, 2, smile. And the last one. That's it. Thank you so much, everyone. We look forward to welcome you again on our next IOSH webinar session. Till next time, have a good evening, good day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.